stuck. Where's this?
Sorry, that was my compressor. These shims are a little too loose for my liking. As you can see, they just slip. So I'm just gonna tighten them up a little bit. I'll bend just these top ones in just a touch, and then set it in, and then it doesn't move near as bad. But yeah, they shouldn't be quite that loose, so that's much better. You want just a very thin layer. Don't gob it on there, otherwise it'll melt onto your brakes. Let me talk about these pads real quick. Personally, I would recommend ceramic pads with new hardware. It's always good to change the hardware that's in the caliper bracket, and ceramic pads are gonna give you a much cleaner braking. They won't create as much dust. They'll last a bit longer, and so forth. So I would definitely recommend a better brake. PowerStop.com is amazing with brakes. If you go to their website and check them out, I always recommend coated rotors. Definitely a good thing to do. It eliminates the rust that builds up on the rotor. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're brake pads and they will do the trick, but I don't like the semi-metallic. They're not quite as good as ceramic. These will have a break-in period, so make sure you follow that. That pad's gone. All that was left was the backing plate. Didn't scratch up the caliper though, that's good. Oh wait, there is a little bit. No, there isn't. So upon inspection of this caliper, it is leaking, as you can see. So I'm going to recommend replacing this. Go ahead and get the rest finished up for now. We'll see what he wants to do. Hit the hat. Be very careful of your studs. And there's also a couple screw holes you can put some bolts in and just tighten them up until that pushes out. Alright you guys, I'm gonna hold up for now. I'm just gonna put this rotor on. And then I'm contacting my client about this caliper. I'll probably get one ordered, so there's no point in me moving forward yet because the caliper will come with a new bracket and stuff. So I'm gonna hold up for now, and I'll go ahead and video the caliper replacement too. One thing I won't video though will be the brake bleed, because people do brake bleeds many different ways. You got gravity bleeds, you've got bleeds that are done with air, which is how I'm going to do it since I'm by myself, or you got bleeds where two people are involved. So the way I'm going to do it is with air, and not everybody's going to have that set up. So I won't show the bleeding, but I will show the replacement of the caliper. When you do replace the caliper though, you want to bleed all 4 brakes. So anytime you get air in the system, you want to do all 4 brake bleed. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this caliper. There's a $55 core charge on it. So to avoid that, I'm going to have them pick up this caliper when they drop the new one off. I've got a couple pieces of flexible rubber that I can stick one of them into the hole to stop it from leaking as I'm waiting. But normally I wouldn't recommend using a gun on this, but with this off the bracket, it's going to be really difficult to get that loose. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop it open with this. That worked just fine. Just work that on out of there. And then, like I said, take something just to fill that hole up there and stop the leak. So I'm just going to use a little rubber plug, and that'll stop it from leaking. And we'll let this drip out so I can give them back their core. But yeah, you can see it's been leaking for a little bit, definitely. Alright, I got the new caliper. Yeah, I personally like to put the bracket on and everything before I connect the caliper. Makes it easier to torque the brake line. Yeah, make sure they gave you the right one. This bleeder nipple should be on the top, not on the bottom. Oh, pads, of course. Hang on. Probably won't stop too well without the pads, huh? Gonna try to record this from the back side so you can see it. That's the best I can do for you guys. So your new caliper is gonna come with a new bolt to hold in the brake line, and then 2 washers. You're gonna go ahead and put one washer is gonna be on the top side of the bolt, and one washer is gonna be on the underside of it. So pull this out. We've still got this other washer, which is going to go on that side. So you're going to put the bolt through and then stick your washer in there. So you've got a washer on both sides of the line, and then you stick your line in here. And it'll just keep dripping until you get it torqued down, so no worries. And then I might have to move you guys to torque this, but let's see. Hang on just a second. So now you got it at this point. Again, I'm not going to show doing an all-4 brake bleed, but before I even start my brake bleed, I like to go ahead personally. I don't know if other people like it or not, but I've done it for many years and it's worked for me. I'll just go ahead and crack this open and I'll let it gravity bleed at first. So I'll just leave that open until I start seeing fluid dripping out of it. Then I'll close it up and I'll go ahead and do my all-4 brake bleed. And once I get done with that, we'll get back to this and I'll show you the wheel torque. So once the caliper fills up, you'll see the fluid start dripping, and that means that it's gravity bled, but that doesn't necessarily mean all the air's out of it. We still need to bleed all the rest of them too, and then we'll go from there. So go ahead and do your brake bleed at this point.